One of the most important lessons I think I learned in my life is how to relate to my thinking. I'm a real thinker. I love to solve problems. And I used to think I had to solve my thinking, solve the problems in my head, solve the problems in my life by thinking about it. I thought my thinking was my superpower. My thinking would tell me how it created all my success up to now, kept me safe. I thought my thinking was my wisdom. I was a good thinker. And it turns out my thinking is the thing that held me back. Kept me stuck, kept me worried, kept me fearful. And we are thinkers. We're going to have thought. And a thought is an amazing, powerful tool. Imagination is incredible. Everything we use in our world pretty much started as an idea in someone's head. The computer I'm using, the microphone I'm using, all started as an idea in someone's head. But I think we forget it is an idea. It's not fact, it's not truth. We believe our thinking. We get caught up into trying to solve our thinking. We're even trying to calm our mind. We spend so much time trying to manage our state of mind. One of the biggest things I learned is you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. That was a revelation to me. One of my favourite kind of visual aids is like a snow globe. I have these kind of glitter balls, little balls full of bits of glitter. They're like a snow globe, and it just settles all on its own. And that's our mind. When we stop interfering, we stop putting energy into the system, it just settles on its own. We think we need to calm our mind. We think we need to think our way to clarity. Because it's when our mind is calm, I think we have a different quality of thought. We do have clarity. We do have insights. Solutions come to us. We can't think our way to that space. I guess part of us doesn't trust that that's the way the system works. But we can be really anxious and stressed in one morning, and later in the day feel calm and peaceful, and there's not anything we've consciously done to change that state. Our mind has just settled. In the same way our breathing speeds up when we exert ourselves, do some exercise, it calms down all on its own. And things are going to trigger our thinking. Things are going to shake that snow globe. But it settles on its own. It settles all on its own. And that's how our system works. And that was a revelation to me that I didn't have to think my way to clarity. The clarity comes to me. That I had this innate wisdom when I'm quiet and solutions can come to me. I guess it was fear of not getting a solution, fear of not being okay, keeps the energy going, keep thinking about it and not trusting my innate wisdom. Not trusting I will be okay, not trusting a solution will come. And surrendering, I guess, to our innate wisdom. And I think there's a spiritual element to this as well. So what we're surrendering to, you could say we're just surrendering to our innate wisdom, our soul, a better quality of thinking. And I think there's truth in that. I also think our innate wisdom comes from something bigger. It's not even our wisdom we have to trust. There's an energy of life that's got our back, and I know sometimes it's hard to believe that. I went through 10 years of infertility and all sorts. I had a mum as an alcoholic. It's easy for me to think, well, the loving energy of life, how come these things happen? But I think life is chaotic and humans have free will and stuff happens. Doesn't mean there's not a loving energy of life. I can't control what my son does all the time, as much as I'd love to, but I love him. I'm there when he needs me. But I can't control him to keep him safe. And stuff's going to happen in life. doesn't mean I don't love him. And I see that loving energy of life is like a perfect parent. We had a massive storm and we lost power for 4 days and couldn't use our water and all sorts of kind of problems, and the internet was down for over a week. In those times in the past, I got really anxious and really, really stressed. How I couldn't work, couldn't see my clients. But I surrendered. And it's amazing how solutions and things came up each day. And deep down I knew it was going to be okay. It will work out. I don't have to panic. It's all going to be okay. So I do think there's a spiritual element to this, that what are we surrendering to? We're not trying to manage our state of mind. When our mind settles, solutions come to us. I had a coach once that said, "You think you know better than God." And it really struck me when she said that. My, deep down I was saying, no, that's not true. But actually my initial response was, yeah, I do. There's a part of me that doesn't trust God. Gone through things in my life. Why'd I trust God if I had a mum who was an alcoholic, had infertility, all these things? It's down to me to make sure I'm okay. Especially as a kid, when you have a parent who feels not there, hasn't got your back psychologically, it feels scary. You think it's down to you to make sure you're safe. It's down to you to make sure you work out the rules, to make sure you don't get shouted at, to make sure you feel more loved. You work out almost how to manipulate people to be a good person, to be the person you think they want you to be, so you're loved and accepted. You become self-reliant. But I realised I don't need to be. When I surrendered something bigger than me, life just seems to go much easier. I don't need to manage my thinking. I don't need to think my way to solutions. I can notice I've got a busy mind. I can just notice it. I don't need to go beyond noticing it. And it settles. That snow globe settles and we stop interfering with it. And I want to finish with a quote from psychologist Dickon Bettinger, and he wrote this about grief, but this is true for any feeling or stories or thoughts or human experience we're having. This is true for any human experience we're having. Dickens says we don't have to be frightened of any of our experiences. The play of thought is constantly bringing us a wide array of feelings. When we understand that this wide array is the play of the principles of our human experience, we can appreciate this dance created by the spiritual energy of life. No thought or feeling in and of itself can hurt us psychologically if we don't struggle with it. We struggle with our experience when we judge it, try and resist or stop it, try to manipulate it, or wish we weren't having it. It is this struggle against the already created thoughts and feelings that creates the problem. It is this struggle that takes us out of the now and gets us entangled in the apparent reality of our thinking. It is this struggle that blocks the arising of our next thoughts that will shift our feeling. Left alone, struggle-free, our wisdom keeps shifting our thinking in a healthy direction. This is how the wisdom of our mind guides us to healing. And I'd say it guides us to clarity, guides us to solutions. And when he says about struggling with the already created thought, it reminds me of cooking. I'm not a great cook, and I could be cooking and it's not going so great, and my wife can step in and just turn something and make either save it or make it even better. She just knows what to do to save something that's been a bit of a disaster or make it even better. But when you bake biscuits or cookies and they get burnt, there's nothing you can do to save them or rescue them. Nothing. Just got to throw them away. And when we struggle with our already creative thinking, the thinking's there. You can't fix it, change it, Struggling with it is not going to help. We just need to let it go and let fresh thought come in. We don't need to struggle with our state of mind, our thinking. It settles all on its own. And fresh thought and clarity come to us. Loving you.